Okay, so let's get started with Friday's May 1st Math 5 lesson. This is lesson 138, and we are starting a new chapter on metric units. So today we're going to talk about metric measurement, and we're going to be talking about linear. And when we see linear, we see the word line inside of it, so we're going to be measuring in straight lines. Okay, so typically if you're in the classroom, you might have been measuring with your ruler, so you might be measuring with inches or with centimeters on your ruler. Okay, well, inches are not a metric unit, but a centimeter is. Okay, so the basic unit of linear measurement is the meter. And if you will look on your page at the top, you have that purple box. And if you look, meter is right in the middle. It's the basic unit of measurement. Okay? So let's talk about what 1 meter looks like. 1 meter would be, you've probably seen a meter stick. It's like a giant ruler, something about this long, and teachers use it in their classroom. Okay, so a meter is about this long, and it's a unit of measurement. So we might measure a football field in meters. We might measure the length of our house in meters. Okay, things like that. Okay, so if you look at your unit, if I had 10 meters, if I put 10 of these together, that would be pretty long, maybe the length of a room. Then we would get a decameter. Okay, and if I put 100 meters, maybe like the length of a football field, I would have 1 hectometer. Okay, and if I took 1,000 of these meters, I would have the unit that you've probably heard of, a kilometer. Now, a kilometer is it's not the same distance as a mile, but when we think of kilometer, we can kind of think mile, so it helps us know it's a really big unit of measurement. Okay, it's 1,000 meters. Okay, now let's go the other way. What if I took my meter and I broke it into 10 sections? So I took my meter and I broke it into 10 sections, each one probably being about this long. Okay, that's what that 0.1 is, because remember, what is a decimal? It's when we take one unit and we break it into 10 sections, right? So one of those 10 sections of that meter would be a decimeter. Then if I took my meter and I broke my meter up into 100 sections, because you see that the 0.01 is in the hundredths place, and I broke my meter up into 100 sections, they would be about the width of my finger, and that's what you see on a ruler, a centimeter. A centimeter, centi meaning 100, it's a meter broken into 100 pieces, so about this wide. Okay, so the centimeter, and then the millimeter takes the meter and breaks it into 1,000 pieces. Okay, if I were to look at the centimeter though, that centimeter on my ruler, you'll see some really small lines. So there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So look at your ruler and see a centimeter, and then you'll see the little lines. Each one of those is a millimeter. Okay, so now that we've talked about those measurements, let's get started with your work and let's begin to match them up. Okay, so A says this, it says 1/100th of a meter. Well, I saw the TH, and what does that cue us into? That we're dealing with a fraction, right? When we see that TH on the end of a word. So which one of those is in the hundredths place? I hope you see that the centimeter is in the hundredths place, so A matches with centimeter. Okay? You're going to be using what you would, what matches that measurement. You're going to be adding and subtracting them just like regular numbers. Just make sure that when you get an answer, you need to put centimeters or millimeters, right? You're always labeling your answers, and you're going to be doing some measurements with your ruler. So make sure you do really nice, precise measurements, and you know how to do that. So I think that's all we need to go over. Make sure you Marco Polo me if there is any confusion.